Hi, I'm Ron, and welcome back to PopSicle, where I discuss pop culture, science, and everything in between. In the last two episodes, 4.1 and 4.2, I talked about my predictions on the Oscar categories for Best Screenplay, Adapted and Original, and also for the Best Supporting Actor and Best Supporting Actress races. Now, in this video, we'll be talking about Best Actor and Best Actress. Of all the actors and actresses being buzzed about right now for Oscar nominations, the most surefire nominee at this point is Anthony Hopkins for The Father. The film has been seen in Sundance and everyone raved about Anthony Hopkins' performance. The critics are saying that he's brilliant in it and it's one of his best performances, which is saying a lot because we're talking here about Anthony Hopkins, who has had 5 nominations, the most recent one being for The Two Popes last year, and of course a Best Actor win for The Silence of the Lambs. And the film itself is also actually well received. So when it comes out wide, finally, it's just going to solidify Anthony Hopkins' frontrunner status. At number 2, we have Gary Oldman from Mank. We've said a lot about Mank in the previous videos, and in this movie, which is about the writing of Citizen Kane, Gary Oldman plays Herman Mankiewicz, the co-writer of Citizen Kane, and it's about the struggles that he had with Orson Welles. So it's a Hollywood-based movie, it's black and white, and everyone's anticipating it. It's going to be out on Netflix, and we all know how good Gary Oldman is in transformative roles because he won an Oscar for The Darkest Hour. So this is prime Oscar bait material for Gary Oldman, and so we're at least going to see a third nomination for him, most likely. It's going to be hard to displace Anthony Hopkins from that top spot though. A maybe contender at number 3 is Michael Fassbender for Next Goal Wins. In Taika Waititi's Next Goal Wins, Michael Fassbender plays Thomas Rongen, the Dutch-American coach of the American Samoa national football team. There was a documentary made about this team before, also with the same title, but now Taika Waititi is giving it his own spin, and Michael Fassbender, a brilliant actor always, is playing such a prime role, a big role in this movie that it's sure to make a splash. It's been a while since we've seen him nominated, and this is going to be his third. So, and you know, it's this type of movie, an inspirational sports movie about underdogs, is not always Oscar material. But then this one is directed by Taika Waititi, and it's coming at a time when we need a lot of inspiration and motivation. So the timeliness, and then you have Michael Fassbender being always a reliable actor. Those are the ingredients that are necessary probably for his third nomination. At number 4, I'm putting in Delroy Lindo from The Five Bloods. So of all the movies in consideration, The Five Bloods is the one that's been seen the most, having been shown in Netflix already, and everyone is raving about Delroy Lindo's lead performance. He's paid his dues. He's been a character actor for such a long time in many movies, but this time he's getting a lot of Oscar attention. Probably if it were another type of Oscar year, he wouldn't, but then it is a different kind of year, and The Five Bloods was shown to general acclaim, generally good acclaim on Netflix, and you know, he stole every scene that he was in, and it's probably about time to reward such a busy, hardworking actor as Delroy Lindo. This category is not as stacked as it usually is, so his chances of getting in are pretty high, actually. But then a lot of the films of the other contenders haven't been shown yet or haven't been seen yet, so it remains to be seen if they'll displace Delroy Lindo from the top 5. But most prognosticators are actually predicting a first nomination for Delroy Lindo. Now at number 5, and this one is the one I'm least sure about, I'm going to give it to Sacha Baron Cohen from The Trial of the Chicago 7. As I said in the previous video on supporting actors, it's going to be an ensemble piece, most of whom are probably going to be supporting actors. But then if there's going to be a lead, it's probably Sacha Baron Cohen, who plays Abby Hoffman, one of the Chicago 7, of course, but he was the most vocal, particularly against the judge. So it's most likely that it's going to get the highlights and it's going to steal scenes. It's about time that he gets to prove his acting chops, and this is probably the vehicle for it. And yeah, I think his chances are pretty good, especially with the Netflix release of the film and the film being buzzed for top awards, including Best Picture and Best Director for Aaron Sorkin. So it's exciting to see where this is going to go and how it's going to be campaigned. It's not as if Sacha Baron Cohen is overdue for an Oscar nomination given the films that he's had, although he is an Oscar nominee for Borat, for writing Borat in particular. Here are my 6 to 10, and you see at number 6 I placed Timothée Chalamet for Dune. Lead actors or lead actresses in science fiction films don't always get Oscar nominations that they deserve, like Amy Adams for Arrival. So no matter how good Chalamet is, and he's pretty young also, he might not get that nomination. However, if it proves to be really, really big and a critical favorite, then Timothée Chalamet, who should have gotten his second nomination for Beautiful Boy, will probably get his second here. We know that it's always good and it's prime material. At number 7, I put Tom Hanks for News of the World. It's an interesting role, but we all know that Tom Hanks hasn't always been nominated even for roles that we thought he would be, like for Captain Phillips and for Saving Mr. Banks. But then he did get nominated last year, so maybe the Academy's reasserting their favor of Tom Hanks. Stillwater is still an uncertainty in terms of release date, but if ever it does get released, look for Matt Damon to climb up the ranks. Right now, I'm putting him at number 8, but then he's probably going to shoot up there once we have a firm release date for the film, because it's a big role. He plays a father who travels to France to help his daughter who has been arrested for murder. So a lot of drama is going to be there, we're pretty sure. I have to admit that numbers 9 and 10, I found it difficult to fill in. I put in at number 9 George McKay for The True History of the Kelly Gang. I believe that he should have been more heavily considered for a Best Actor nomination last year for 1917. So and he's been getting good reviews for this film, so he might have a chance. And then at number 10, I put Adam Driver for Annette, which is another film with an iffy release date, but it's a musical by Leos Carax, so it's getting a lot of buzz, and he stars with Marion Cotillard. It's an interesting role. He plays a stand-up comedian with a daughter with a special ability of some sort. We don't know the full details of it, but it's very interesting. And Leos Carax was the director of Holy Motors, which a lot of cinephiles really love. So they're going to welcome it with open arms, and it's bound to be a very good film. So let's see, if the release date firms up and confirms that he's going to be eligible, then he'll probably shoot up the rankings also. The Best Actress race is shaping up to be one of the most interesting. It often is, but this time we have veterans in the race. All 5 of my predicted nominees are former nominees, and only one of them has never won an Oscar, and that person is a legend in cinema. So cinema goers, film fans are excited to see where this film is going. It's going to be shown in the New York Film Festival, so all eyes are going to be on it, but more on that later. So let's go to the Best Actress category, and at number 1 we have Kate Winslet for Ammonite. We've seen the trailer. Some people have seen it. They've raved about it. They've said that it's the best performance that Kate Winslet has given, and that's saying a lot because I don't think she has ever turned in a bad performance. She has finally won an Oscar, of course, for The Reader after 7 nominations. After 6 nominations. She got her other nomination later on after winning. She's an Oscar darling, an Oscar favorite, and if critics say that this is her best performance to date, and the film is a contender for top awards like Best Picture, I don't see a situation where she doesn't get in, and she's a prime contender for win number 2. Her role is that of a fossil hunter, Mary Anning, who develops a relationship with another woman who becomes her apprentice. Of course, played by Saoirse Ronan. So there's going to be a lot of drama here, and it's going to invoke memories, like I said before, of The Portrait of a Lady on Fire, which unfortunately did not get Oscar traction, even if it deserved to. Um, so it's going to be a big film, Oscar-wise, and not that she needs it. Kate Winslet is going to be swept by the sentiment or the love for that movie, and if she's as good as the critics say, she's probably going to win it. At number 2, we have Frances McDormand from Nomadland. So Nomadland is the other movie that everyone's watching out for as it comes out in the upcoming festivals like Venice and New York, which is sort of replacing Telluride now because Telluride is cancelled, unfortunately. So we all know how well Frances McDormand delivers. She just recently won her second Oscar. Is she going to get her third? She plays a woman who basically roams around America during the recession. We don't know too much about what she's gonna do and how drama-filled the role is, but the fact that practically the whole film will be just her. We've seen what that has done for someone like Reese Witherspoon, for example, in Wild, and we're talking here about an even bigger Oscar darling than Reese Witherspoon. She's probably not going to win so soon after her second win, but a nomination is almost sure at this point, especially because the film itself is also a prime contender for Best Picture and Best Director. Now, at number 3 is a well-respected actress who has won a Best Supporting Actress Oscar but never a Best Lead Actress Oscar, and this is Viola Davis for Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. I have to admit, at first I wasn't too stoked about the Oscar chances of this movie, but then it's gaining a lot of buzz. Maybe partly because Chadwick Boseman stars in it and it's his last film and is being buzzed for a possible posthumous Oscar nomination. But hey, we're talking about Viola Davis here, who's brilliant always, and she just recently got ignored for her performance in Widows, which was pretty solid also. Here she plays a blues singer, Ma Rainey, who is considered the mother of the blues, and it's a pretty dramatic seeming movie with the plot being about struggles between her and the producers and the band, and some controversy or mess thrown in by Chadwick Boseman's character. So it's very exciting to see where this is going to go, and I believe she gained weight and had to don prosthetics for this role. So that transformation will actually just help Viola Davis most likely. Numbers 4 and 5 are very exciting because we're talking here about true legends of cinema. At number 4 is Sophia Loren for The Life Ahead. The Life Ahead will be shown on Netflix. Check. It's about an aging Holocaust survivor. Check. And that Holocaust survivor is none other than Oscar winner Sophia Loren, who has had 2 nominations, a win for 2 women back in the 60s, and an honorary Oscar in the 1990s. So it's been quite a long time since the Academy has recognized her. Her last film was a decade ago, I believe. But she's always been in the good graces of the Academy, being invited to present Oscars at the ceremonies. And, again, she's an icon. If this film even proves to be just slightly good and well received, most likely Sophia Loren will really get in because it's a juicy role also. She plays like I said, an aging Holocaust survivor who forges a bond with a young boy from Senegal. So it's Oscar bait from an Oscar legend. What more can we ask for? Hopefully it proves to be a good film. And coming in at number 5 is Michelle Pfeiffer from French Exit. It's a comedy drama. It's an interesting story. She's an aging Manhattan socialite who basically is just relying on the what's little left of her money, and she moves to Paris with her son and her cat, who happens to be her reincarnated husband. So yeah, it sounds light, sounds kitschy and funny, but there's going to be drama there for sure. And I've heard that they're really going to campaign hard for Michelle Pfeiffer. I hope they do, because she's been turning in very good performances in some recent films like Sherif, for example, but never got the Oscar traction that she deserved. The Best Actress race is probably has room for her, although at number 6 is a pretty tough contender. But if the film is good, and we're going to know as early as October at the New York Film Festival, before it opens much wider in February, and then Michelle Pfeiffer's role is solid. We all know how brilliant she is, of course. So she just has to have the good material for her performance. If all of those fall into place, then we'll see another nomination for Michelle Pfeiffer and maybe her first win. We don't know. Now here are my 6 to 10, and I mentioned number 6 a while ago as being the big threat. And this is Jennifer Lawrence from Red, White, and Water. She plays a US soldier who suffers a traumatic brain injury while fighting in Afghanistan. Need I say more? Jennifer Lawrence, of course, is as an Oscar winner, a multiple nominee. And it's been quite a while since the Academy has recognized her. So the only thing really that's making me hesitating to put it higher in the top 5 is the release date. We're not firm on that yet, but once it does become firm, she's a solid threat not only for a nomination but for a win given the role. At number 7 and 8, I put 2 actresses who are playing iconic singers. At number 7, we have Andra Day playing Billie Holiday in the United States versus Billie Holiday. And at number 8, we have Jennifer Hudson, Oscar winner Jennifer Hudson, who plays Aretha Franklin in Respect. I'm putting Andra Day ahead, although Jennifer Hudson is the Oscar winner, because I have more confidence in this film. It's a Lee Daniels movie. We've seen what Lee Daniels has been able to do with Gabourey Sidibe, getting an Oscar nomination, and of course Monique getting an Oscar win. For me, one of the best supporting actress wins ever. And so it's exciting to see what Lee Daniels will be able to bring out of Andra Day. And then of course Jennifer Hudson, a former Oscar winner, is playing Aretha Franklin, the legend, Queen of Soul. We've seen the trailer. She seems to be giving a very committed performance. Let's see where it goes. Hopefully it proves to be a solid contender also. Rashida Jones doesn't necessarily shout Oscar overdue, although she's a solid character actress who has been seen by so many fans of cinema in so many films before. But this is her best chance because she's the lead in a Sofia Coppola movie along with Bill Murray. The film is getting buzz, yes, and of course it's a contender for some of the top awards, including picture and writing, maybe directing. So let's wait to see how good Rashida Jones is in it. Maybe she has what it takes to topple any of the top 5, but it's going to be hard because those are well-respected veterans beloved by the Academy. And finally, at number 10, I'm putting in Marion Cotillard for Annette. Cinema fans love Marion Cotillard. I love Marion Cotillard. She's brilliant. Her performance in La Vie en Rose was one of the best performances by an actress in decades, I believe, and deserved to win the Oscar. She's been only nominated once more after that. This is the film by Leos Carax. She might get nominated for playing an opera singer, partnered with the character of Adam Driver. And again, they have a daughter with special powers. That's what it sounds like in the press releases about the film. So it's bound to be a very interesting film. We don't know how much dramatic heft the role is going to have, although she's going to sing in it, being an opera singer, and the last time she sang, she got a nomination. Just at the fringe is Jessica Chastain for The Eyes of Tammy Faye. She used to be in my top 5, but then we're not sure about the release date of the movie. If this firms up, I'm going to bump her up, and probably other prognosticators will be predicting her at least in the top 10, if not in the top 5. So those are my predictions for Best Actor and Best Actress, two of my favorite categories. I love actors and actresses, as I said in the previous video. Let's see how all of this pans out. Who are your bets? Please feel free to comment below. And again, if you liked what you watched and you're looking forward to more, please don't forget to subscribe. Next up are the two biggest categories, Best Director and Best Picture. See you again soon!